Hello, guys. We're here in comix. This is our second live streaming here broadcasting, and we're having as our guest Maria Laura Sanapo. She's an Italian artist, very accomplished, and we're here to have a very casual comic talk today, so you can guys enjoy, and we will talk about some of her stuff here in the comic book world, and a little bit of her art, a little bit of her creative process, and what she's currently working in this comic industry.
Yeah, hi Oscar, how are you?
Very good, very good.
It didn't let me in. It's about the fourth time I'm trying to enter your live stream, and I'm like, oh my God.
Don't worry about it. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. We'll have issues with this connecting devices, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
How
So
are you?
I don't know if you got all the presentation, but here we are with Maria Laura Sanapo, directly from Italy. And well, let me introduce you to her. She's a very accomplished artist. She's been working with DC Comics, with Cinescope, with Dynamite, and she is currently in working with some other projects that we'll discuss a little later on. But we're with her, and let's talk about first, what is your favorite genre whenever it comes to drawing something? You got a project, but sometimes it's like we'll have our preferences. So what is for you that you prefer to draw? What is your favorite genre above all?
Well, I am very lucky actually because I work for the United States, and I love superhero comics, and United States comics are mainly that kind of comics.
All right.
I remember when I attended the International School of Comics that I had an instructor who told me, Maria, you're too American because you did a lot of projects like French project, Italian comics project.
Right.
And yeah, he told me, yeah, okay, Maria, I like it. It's beautiful. But you're too American. It should be French, it should be another thing. So I really like every project I was working with too. And I absolutely love the thing that I can express myself at the maximum. I love the facial expressions. I love the extreme foreshortening. I love everything very exaggerated. And this is typical of American comics. So I'm grateful because I'm able to work on something like that. So each project I did, from Wonder Woman, Batwoman, Miss Fury, it's full of action, and I love action. I love expressions, and absolutely I love all the project I was working on. So it's great.
All right. And regarding to that topic, overall, you're talking about the superheroes, but mostly it's just related to the female figure. So are you more comfortable among all your skills and talents? Are you feeling like a little bit more comfortable drawing the female figure? What is for you to draw the female figure? Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, actually, I identify with the female figure I draw. Of course, I don't have a sword. I don't have anything of it, but I really love drawing female figure because they're so strong. I grown up with Tina. I grown up with all these characters, this strong character, and so I was so happy to draw them. And I absolutely feel more comfortable with a female figure because, I'm not saying that female figure is superior to man, absolutely not. But in my opinion, female figure is different. It's very expressive. So I like to exaggerate a lot with expressions. And, with men, it's a little bit more difficult to do that. So, the man, it's more serious. It's a little bit, it's in my opinion, it's a little, I don't know, maybe female figure is it's more expressive. They move a lot, And we have a lot of the costumes that are fantastic, like capes, hair. Everything is flowing. Everything has to be very natural. This is what I like about drawing female figure, and also because, as I said before, I identify with them. I feel them when I
Mm-hmm.
draw them. So they have each character, each female character I was drawing. I'm drawing has a different personality. So, for example, Wonder
Yeah.
Woman, she's a goddess. Batwoman, she's more urban. She's more
Right.
like Red Sonja is super aggressive. Vampirella is mysterious. They are, each of them represent a part of our personality. Okay, so it is fantastic. I do love it. Absolutely, I love it.
And I'm sure whoever is watching us right now, some of them they like to draw, and usually as when you start drawing hair, especially long hair, it's a very difficult part. And so, do you make like categories, or you think about how the hair is gonna flow, depending if it's Red Sonja, for example, she's a barbarian, or if it's like I don't know, Miss Fury, like more action type, so the hair is going to be more messed up, or how do you envision how the hair is going to move from panel to panel?
Well, the hair, for example, is one of the most difficult things to draw because they have to be very flowy and natural. And one of the most difficult things for us is that our brain always tries to make everything regular, but
Yeah,
everything natural is not regular. So we always try to fix everything, to be obsessed with fix everything, and the hair and act exactly like the character. So if I'm, for example, if I'm scared, the hair tells a lot. They are a little bit, frizzy. If I'm fighting, they are messy. Hair is messy. So they absolutely act like the character. If I'm flying, I the hair is not like this. The hair is super
yeah,
messy,
uh,
and it's very important to express the movements. Also, the mood of the person, because remember that we are doing comics, so we express what the character feels. So to the reader, so it's very important. It's difficult to render very natural things. It's one
I
of the,
see.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and tell us more about. I know you are a current instructor for the Kubert Art School. Is there anything you're working on right now, given some courses, lessons related to a specific topic?
Well, yeah, I'm currently working for Kubert School. I'm working on online studies. I'm teaching how to draw the female figure.
Mm,
And yeah, this is a great, absolutely great experience. I thank Anthony Marquez for this. He's the director of the school because I see that you can learn a lot from your students. Okay, so it's not only the students learning from the teacher, but vice versa. So I try to be in my students' shoes and to understand what they need. So it's very important. I really, and I saw how difficult it is for a lot of people to draw the female figure. So I asked Anthony if it was possible to do because I teach basic drawing at the Kruger School. So
right.
since a lot of people ask me how can I draw the female figure, it's so difficult. I would like to draw it better. Okay, so let's do a course about it. Let's do something to help the students. So it's very particular. It's very, it's something that a lot of people ask for, and let's do it. So it's a great experience. I have so many students from all over the world. I have one
Mm-hmm.
student from Hong Kong, and I have another one from Chile. And
Ah,
Yeah, so it's multilingual. Well, I don't speak Chinese, absolutely, but I speak Spanish. So sometimes,
Right.
yeah, sometimes I speak Spanish, or if I don't, for example, if I, because I'm Italian before, so if I
Yeah.
don't remind a word, I say the word in Spanish, and they understand. So it's a
Okay. All
great
right.
thing. Yeah, it's great. Absolutely great experience. I love it. Yeah, absolutely.
That's very cool. So now there's a lot of talk out there regarding the female human figure. And to you, what do you think? Is it? I mean, it's after all, it's a drawing. It's not a painting. But in this case, sometimes it's seen like a little bit like a painting. But I've seen a lot of talk out there regarding the proportions. And in your opinion, the human female figure, should it be very, very strict, very by the book, all the proportions, or you can just play around with proportions and make it look more exaggerated, or with less detail, more detail? How do you feel whenever you're drawing your own figures? What do you like to see in your drawings? Perfect
Well,
bodies or more natural?
well, I think that well, it's a very personal question because it depends how you conceive that. Okay, so you can give your own interpretation of that. Every interpretation is okay. Of course, we draw comics, so we exaggerate a bit. So I think that every body, okay, it's special in its own way. So
Yeah.
this is not fashion show, so they don't have to be super skinny. No, it's not. Every character has his own body shape, and I think that exaggeration sometimes is a good thing. Well, exaggeration in a good way. Okay, for example, we always, for example, in the reality, we are like 6 head and a half tall, but in comics, we normally draw 8 heads and a 3/4, just because in the on the paper the reality changes. So whatever works on the paper, it's okay. Okay, so the greatest thing is to make your work, okay, to make it work. So it's absolutely one of the best things in the world to make it work, to make it functional. And the greatest thing, it's that depends on your style, on your personality. So it's not an easy thing because you have to find it. And with exercise, you can try. Okay, for me, it works more like this. For example, Mino Manara does very long legs, but super
Okay.
long legs that in the reality don't exist. Maybe Gal Gadot has those legs, but normally, okay, we don't have that kind of legs. But
Mm-hmm.
it's Milo Manara. He works like that. Okay, it's functional for
Okay.
him. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, Frank Cho does not so long legs, but they are fantastic because it's Frank Cho.
Right.
It's his interpretation of the reality. So they are a little bit more rounded, but they are awesome, fantastic. So every
Hmm.
the female figure is very particular because it's the expression, the wild expression of the perception of the reality of every artist. So this is a very great thing, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
That's very
So
interesting.
yeah. Well, oh, for example, Adam Hughes draws very fit women, okay, but
Yep.
probably they wouldn't work for another one. So they are fantastic, but maybe for
Right.
another one they don't work. So who
Yeah.
knows?
Basically, every artist has their own
Yeah,
signature style, right?
yeah,
Yeah. That's great. If it
absolutely.
works for you, it will work for
Yeah,
your rest of your
yeah,
work. That's great.
uh,
And so we're talking about the female figure or the human figure, but whenever you draw a comic, especially the interiors, you gotta draw different things. What is the most challenging thing whenever you're drawing something on a comic book? Let's say
Well,
a panel, let's say a splash, let's say the money shot. I mean, even the cover. What is the most challenging part for you to draw?
well, I think what I'm going to say it's valid for everything, for panels, covers, etc., etc. I think the most challenging thing is to conceive the background as a character. I will
Mm-hmm.
explain better. I will explain better. When I was younger, well, I'm still young because I'm 16. No, it's not true. I'm 34. But when I was younger, I thought I was very concentrated on the figure, the human figure. And when I had to do the background, yeah, it's okay, it's the background. No, no, guys, the backgrounds act exactly like the figures we are drawing. Because, for example, if we have to draw somebody talking in a kitchen, the kitchen is important because we have to draw all the objects. Okay, so the fridge, maybe a plate that I don't know, a cup of tea that I didn't finish the tea. So just
Mm-hmm.
very natural things. Okay, so focusing also on the background tells a lot about the characters that they are doing things. Okay, so it is absolutely very important to know that, to take it into consideration. And I absolutely advise to everybody who is studying how to draw comics that, guys, if you do very accurate characters, don't take for granted the background because it's very important. And
Mm-hmm.
another thing, also connected with background, is that I always try to make everything regular. And it's terrible because when I, for example, if I have to draw a forest, nature is wild. Nature
Yeah.
has to be wild. And I don't know why our brain tries always to draw everything at its place, like a Tetris. Okay, so sometimes when you draw something like trees or mountains, well, everybody do too many regular shapes, and you say this is not natural. This is not natural. Okay, so this is one of the biggest challenges on my for me
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
draw absolutely. So yes.
One person in the audience saying the background should correspond with the character as well, and I agree. And that this reminds me, was it Miss Fury, one of your drawings that she was inside this wagon, and there is like a sushi bar or something you were working on?
It was Snowpiercer. Maybe it was
Oh
a
yeah.
yeah. It wasn't used. Okay, because I was asked to draw a wagon of a car
Mm-hmm.
train of Miss no, sorry, I was Snowpiercer because there was the upcoming series.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it was about to be released, and I was asked to also by DC Comics. I was asked to draw this car train. And okay, Maria, so imagine, draw whatever you'd like to see in a car train, of course, a sushi bar for me, because I love sushi. So it was rejected because another one did the same. So a lot of people probably want to to have a sushi bar.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
But
So was yeah.
yeah, I did another one. I did another one. They told me, okay, Maria, another artist did it before you, so try with another one. And I tried with a spa, and I was like, okay, guys, probably I would spend all my time in that car train. So I would like a spa. If I was a Snowpiercer character, absolutely I would like a spa car train. Also with a sushi bar, of course, sushi bar and then the spa. So
Hmm.
a great life, a great life.
Interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting. And tell us about the creative process that you have to work with whenever you get the script from the writer. And this is a project. Let's talk about. I don't know. Maybe you can talk about Wonder Woman, or you can talk about the your new upcoming comic Batwoman.
That's what.
Hmm. So whenever you get the script from the writer, what is the creative process? Do you work first on your drawing sketches, or what is that you do with that script?
Yeah, okay. So, well, I get normally the script by my editor, and yeah, I work with a fantastic writer like Erica Schultz, Grace Ellis, and Amy Chu, for example.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, and the great thing is that when I got the script, the first thing I do, of course, is to read it, and I see a little bit of their personality in it because every script is written differently because different person, different script, and I have so much fun doing it. And the first thing I do after, of course, reading the script is to gather references. Well, for example, if the story, like in Wonder Woman, for example, if the story is set in 1941, we have a flashback, so I have to gather references about fashion in 1941, picture of the war. So the gestures, for example, so we don't have the same gesture as 1941, so everything is different. Also, for example, in Batwoman was totally different. Well, I cannot reveal too much because it hasn't been released yet. But for example, we have a forest. I can say too much.
Okay. All
And
right.
so yeah, I had to gather some pictures, some references of that kind of forest because you have to be very specific. This is not an European forest. You have to see how an American forest is. So the trees are different. For example, if a story is set in Canada or in I don't know in a forest in Germany, it's totally different. So you have to be very realistic, keeping your style, of course. So the references is very important. Then I
Hmm.
do the layouts, and for example, I do all the layouts. If I get 20 or in case of Batwoman, 30 pages story, I do all the layouts, and I do more or less three layouts a day. Uh, and I send the layouts to the editor. Once they are approved, then I go on with the inks, and it takes about a page a day. Of course, if I have a super big splash page with 10 characters, of course, it's not a page a day, but it will take a little bit more. And yeah, this is more like yeah, this is the process. So
Hmm.
of my work, yes.
Well, somebody in the I was saying something about references, and somebody said something about is that it was asking is that a Muka piece of art on your wall in the back?
Yeah,
And yeah,
let
is
me
that
show
your
it to you.
inspiration? That's what you
Absolutely,
use for
yes.
inspiration? Okay, that's
Yeah,
great.
this is yeah, this is Muka. I have more than one. One, two, three. No, this is Klimt. I'm sorry.
Love it.
This is not Muka.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
yeah, I have more. I have more of Muka uh,
Uh-huh.
downstairs, and yes,
Nice.
it's absolutely one of my inspiration. I love
Oh yeah.
Muka a lot. Yeah, yeah, it was one of the
Hmm.
best,
Hmm.
absolutely, for me. Very iconic.
He
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a very, very talented artist, and
Oh
he
my God.
did a great
Yes.
work for, like organic shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what he's very well known of, and I
Yeah.
agree, completely agree. Good, good,
Yeah.
good, good. All
It is
right.
also yeah, it's also great reference for the fabric. I use this as a
Ah,
reference for the fabric because the fabric of Muka are very complicated but very clear. So they move a lot. I absolutely love it. I
mhm.
absolutely
All
love
the
it.
flow and the wrinkles,
Yeah.
yeah, of the fabrics. You're right. Hmm.
Very natural. Very natural. So I love it. I love it.
Very cool. All right. Good, good. Well, do you have any other source of inspiration? Anyone that you
Yeah.
follow that you like? Yeah.
Well, yes, absolutely. My first inspiration is my husband, Marco Santucci. He's
Of
my
course.
mentor.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he's a great artist. And I have more, like, for example, Dave Stevens. Dave
Mm-hmm.
Stevens is one of my favorite because of the figure he draws. He draws he drawn, and also Alan Davis for the storytelling. For example, the storytelling of Alan Davis is fantastic. It's one of the it's so natural. It's so natural. So I think I always advise my students to follow Alan Davis because he's one of the best artists in the world. Neil Adams, for example, is another one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yannick Paquet and Garcia Lopez. Garcia Lopez, my
Yes.
love forever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's complete.
Good,
He
good.
can do everything. Garcia Lopez can do everything. And I met
Yeah,
him
I agree.
once. I met him
Hmm.
once in New York, and
Lucky you.
yeah, oh, yeah, I feel lucky, girl. And he was so nice. He's a very nice person. He's very kind, and so it's fantastic. I really, absolutely. He's one of my favorite, absolutely.
Very good. Well, we have some couple of more minutes here, and if anyone here who's watching us would like to ask something to Maria Laura, please go ahead and type down your questions, and we'll be happy to give you an answer. So, and also, like regarding that, is there anything you recommend you want to share to us or to new talents? What is your main recommendation? Any advice for new talents out there?
Well, I have many advices for them because it's the same thing I say to myself. Even if I'm a perfectionist, you never stop growing. You never stop growing up. And the thing I would like to recommend is that always accept criticism. It's not, don't take it personally.
Hmm.
Well, of course, when somebody criticizes you, it's very important to understand why. Okay, the person who is criticizing you has to say, of course, why. So, for example, you have to redraw this page because, or the anatomy is not okay, or the you have to redraw the landscape, you have to redraw the perspective, and so
Yeah.
on. So it's very important to accept the criticism and to understand why you have to redraw a page or something, you know, whatever. And another thing I would like to recommend is that don't have rush to find your style because it comes later and
Hmm.
it changes a lot.
That's a very good
Yes,
advice.
yes, because I understand why you are curious to find your style because it's something that you want to know. It's something that expresses your personality, but you first have to study the basis. And you know,
Right.
when you know the basis, you can bend the basis as you wish, and then you will find your style. And your style can change with the time, during the time. So uh, don't have rush, okay? Don't have rush to find your style at any cost. It will come
Hmm.
naturally, you know. Don't have rush. So it's absolutely
Good.
important. Yeah,
That's
it's
very
important.
cool. Yeah. Always be patient with yourself, right? Yeah. It's a learning
Yeah,
process.
yeah, absolutely.
We have two questions here so far.
Yeah,
Um, so one of them, the original OD asks, is Miss Fury going to be available outside of the Kickstarter initiative?
that's a great question because I don't know. I don't know. Um, really, you got me unprepared. I don't know.
People are requesting that, so that'll be great. All right.
Yeah, I hope so for you. So I don't
Yeah, we
know.
all hope.
I don't
Yes,
know.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have then another question. Django Fett 88. What is the most difficult part of the female figure to draw?
Well, one of the most difficult things are the hips. The position of the hips. It's
Yeah.
yeah, really, especially when the body is twisted. Oh my God.
Mm,
Oh my God. It's so difficult to find the attachment of the legs, the right one, and it's very difficult. And also, well, also the hair, but it's something that I like to draw. So, but I see from my students that hair is very difficult. So they are sometimes they go in crisis. Oh my God, I have to draw the hair. Oh, no worries, no worries. And it's one of the most difficult for women, and to render a woman very feminine without too many lines, because she seems old otherwise. So it's
oh,
very, yeah. For example, if you want to do a
yeah.
very exaggerated facial expression, of course we have more or less 36 muscle only in the face, and we move a lot. But to render the face, it's like it's very difficult to render a feminine face without too many lines, because we have a lot. In the reality, even a young woman has a lot of lines, expression lines, but you don't have to put all of them because it can seem old. One more line
Hmm.
and the woman seems old. You
It could
men
be
are luckier. You are luckier.
yeah. So you gotta be selective on what
Yeah,
like expression lines to choose and not
exactly.
wrinkles, right?
Exactly. And you
Good,
got it
good, good.
right. Absolutely. You understood everything. Absolutely. It's one of the most difficult things in the world.
Very good, very good. Let's see if we have some more questions here. Mm, what is a good advice for building your portfolio as an artist? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a very good question because, well, of course you have to have good works in your portfolio. But if the portfolio it's not well organized, it's a presentation, it's an introduction of yourself. So normally I advise to put the most recent work first, and then the oldest one at the end, at the bottom, because normally editors focus on the first thing they see because they don't have so much time. So I think the best things, the best works, should be at the beginning, and the last, well, and the oldest one at the bottom.
Hmm.
And when you are presenting a portfolio, something that I would like to say is don't never, don't say, for example, when you are with an editor and he's seeing your portfolio, okay, oh no, sorry, this is bad. No, no, this is not good. No, no, I sorry. When I did it, I wasn't. I was ill. No, no, never justify yourself. Never do that because it's no, no, never do that. It's terrible. Please, it's not a good presentation of yourself.
It's
Never
gonna
do
be
that.
sketchy, yeah. Yeah, you gotta be careful with your words.
Yes, don't say anything. Okay, don't say anything. Always say, okay, I did it for example, if it's published work, you say that. Okay, say that it's published work because it will be better because somebody will notice that you already published. But don't say, oh, sorry, this is terrible. This is no, this is bad. This is blah. Or I saw, oh my God, I saw some students in Florence submitting a portfolio to me, and it was drawing the page and blah, written on it, and I was like, what is that? What is that? It should be a professional portfolio. It was like blah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm not an editor, so you're not in danger with me. But if I was an editor, blah, written on it, it's not the best thing you can write,
yeah,
and
it's not the best way to sell yourself, right?
No, exactly.
Hmm.
If you are selling yourself with blah or something like that, or this is awful, with a I was like,
It's your
no,
own work. You should speak good words about your work, right?
Yeah, it's like you trying to sell a car, and okay, you can buy this car, but pay attention, it's dangerous, or this is not a good car. I won't buy it. I won't buy the
Right.
car. So
Hmm.
you know, it's it's not good, guys.
And speaking of portfolio, how many drawings should you just put on that portfolio? What is your experience in this case? What have you seen with other artists? What works best?
Okay, well, put only the best works. Don't try to, well, the more the better is not valid. Because sometimes I see portfolios like this and they put everything. Okay, no, just put, for example, maybe a page of action, a page of people talking, so different situations. So you will demonstrate that you can draw, for example, different situations, but not too many. Maybe 8 pages, 10 pages, not more. In my opinion, this is my opinion, of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Very
it's
good.
based on
Yeah,
my
good to know.
experience of, yeah, it's based on my experience because my first portfolio review, I tended to put too many things. And I saw that it was too much, too much. So, yeah, maybe, well, not too much.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
very good, very good. Well, we're running out of time. I know that you have to go, so we'll respect your time for that. I thank you very much for being in here, even though we struggle with some technical problems.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's fine. It happens. Everyone has those kind of issues, so don't worry about it. And everyone here who joined us, thank you very much. Thanks for
Thank you.
watching. Thanks for being so patient with all these kind of things that sometimes
Thank
happens
you.
on these live
Yeah.
streamings. Yeah. And
Thank you so much.
we'll see you again, everyone. And grazie mille, Maria Laura. Thanks for
Grazie a
sharing your
te.
time with us.
It's a pleasure for me, really. Thank you for having me here. It's a honor. For me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Ciao.
Bye bye.